It is September 22nd, 2025. Welcome to Talking Giants, brought to you by SeatGeek. And the New York Football Giants are 0-3. They fell to the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football by a score of 22-9. And my good friend Weiss, NYG Daily, is joining me again. And Weiss, the Giants somehow lost this game before they even started playing it. And I actually owe you an apology, Weiss, because you came on the show last week and said the Giants are never going to win anything under Brian Daboll. You're done with Brian Daboll. He's not a good coach. And my reply to you was, Weiss, it's September 14th, man. The Giants just scored 37 points. I can't do this early into the season. Well, 7 days later, I guess we're now doing it. There's no life. There's no silver lining that is substantial. And the only thread that it feels like this regime is holding on to is Jaxson Dart. And I cannot believe that once again we are going to have the conversation on why the Giants' failures under Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll is way more than just the quarterback position. Now, here's what I can't believe about it. That it's September 22nd and we are having that conversation. Weiss, I at least thought that we would get out of September without having to bring up why bringing these guys back was a bad decision and why putting so much on Jaxson Dart is a bad thing. Weiss, how are you doing?
Uh, Numb. I don't want to say I'm doing good, but I'm just, this is one of those nights that I've grown accustomed to, being a part of these embarrassing primetime games where you're just left questioning life as a sports fan, right? Like, what am I even doing? Why am I so emotionally invested? Why was I cheering up and down, getting out of my sofa when Cam Scadaboo scored that touchdown? When I knew that they were not going to win that game. But just been there, done that. I'm sort of professional at these type of things, talking about an embarrassing Giants performance on prime time. I've done it countless of times, so nothing new to me. How are you doing? You lost your voice. Have you been yelling throughout this game?
No, I did not yell throughout the game. I just yelled throughout the
Oh,
weekend because we had some stuff going on in the warehouse this weekend, so screaming about that. So I'm glad that you're here to help me through this because man, I don't even know what to say anymore without again just bringing up shit that we have talked about and re-bringing up stuff that was already kind of addressed in January. But before we do that, man, I started off by saying the Giants somehow lost this game before they even started playing it. 15 minutes before the game starts, I actually didn't see these tweets by the people that were at the game and the beat reporters, but they start off with the broadcast by saying that Graham Gano was questionable. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. There is no way that we are doing this again. Now,
1 year and 8 days later.
is that how long it's been?
That's how
Since
long it was.
Washington. Um,
Hmm.
Now, regardless of when Graham Gano did this, right? Like, all right, do the Giants deserve a pass if he suffered this groin injury, which I'm pretty sure it was also a groin last year. Am
Hmm.
I right in remembering that?
Your groin, hamstring, same shit.
Yes. I
Just
mean,
different
we're
body.
talking
Yeah.
we're talking about a 38-year-old Graham Gano. 38-year-old Graham Gano. And maybe you can give him the benefit of the doubt of, all right, well, he suffered it during pregame warmups. There's nothing you can do about that. Here's why I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. A kicker with an injury history. This is even dating back to is this even dating back to like 2023 where Graham Gano is like we're available, we're not available, we're available, not available. Graham Gano has a $5.6 million cap hit this year. $5.6 million. And a kicker that is known to be unreliable. Joe Schoen and the New York Giants decided to keep on the roster this year with a substantial big cap hit for a kicker this year. And then he's also on the books next year, even though they're going to cut him, save about $4 million. But they could have been off the books if they just moved on from him this year.
Can I
So
can I add
50
one more thing? Can I add
add
one
one
more
more
thing to
thing.
what you're saying? They kept him on the roster, brought in zero competition, rarely kicked the ball during training camp. Remember those training camp practices? They didn't even attempt field goals.
Yeah.
Basically, just gave Graham Gano the summer off, and on September 21st, facing 0-3, when they probably needed their kicker in this game because we know how bad they are getting into the end zone, and this was going to be a low-scoring game. Once again, Graham Gano is hurt pregame. Just ironically, a year later, same situation, and here we are.
Now, if they knew this coming into the game, obviously makes it worse. So, producer Jeff, if there's any quotes on when Graham Gano suffered this, or even if I missed it, I'm sorry, but
they knew it
when
coming into the season. They didn't bring any competition.
No,
like they didn't. They weren't like, let's see if we can find a kicker out there that can push Gano, because we know Gano's an aging guy, and we know some of these injuries pop up for him. And lo and behold, they did. It's like you have the recipe, but you're not following it for whatever reason.
But why would you bring in competition for a kicker that's making $5.5 million, which is the problem? I mean, that's also just a philosophical thing for me. I mean, unless Graham Gano is 30 years old and at the top of his game, all right, if the kicker is that much of a weapon, like a Brandon Aubrey, whatever, okay, I can buy into it, but you just can't justify having I can't believe we're starting off the show with this, but the roster mismanagement decisions that Joe Shane, Brian Daboll, especially Daboll on game days, continues to make just further proves your point of what you were saying here last week. Even though they scored 37 points, there is way more evidence of this coach not being able to manage a football team, get a football team ready, than any other evidence that he can do it.
Yes. And it's not even about like competition. Like, at least bring in a kicker who you're like, okay, if I'm faced with a doomsday scenario, I have some familiarity with this guy. It just boggles my mind that this happened to the Giants again.
Yeah.
And they're not prepared for it. You're telling me this just randomly popped up during game day, and Graham Gano was
38 years old.
Great all week. I'm willing to bet there was some soreness throughout the week that the Giants just ignored. Now, again, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, and I don't care about that. The point is, I'm pissed off that this happened again. But you know what the crazy thing is? Is that despite how embarrassing that is and how it would probably cost you the game, it didn't cost them the game.
No,
because they were horrendous in like 15 different other things.
Yeah.
And so, but like you said, it just adds to the list of reasons why Brian Daboll is just not somebody that you can be confident in that can be a head coach in this league. It just continues it's another example.
Insanity. It's insanity. It's the definition of insanity. It's legitimately insane that they shoot themselves in the foot with the same damn thing over and over again. And it's something that should be so, like, in my brain as a fan, and like you know me, and I don't know if some of you hate this, or if people are with me. Special teams should be so damn insignificant in the grand scheme of things. And for special teams to be insignificant, that means that you're not costing yourselves. Right? There are some special teams, like I know the Steelers, like they really find ways, and they have a really good special teams coordinator over there. Guy's 95 fucking years old over there. They really find ways to make game-changing, game difference plays. Okay, I think that's the exception. Special teams should be something that is, you almost don't even know that it exists within the grand scheme of the game, because everybody should just do their job. So the fact that over and over and over again, and it almost doesn't even matter who the coach is, and we're back at that. We're back at the damn Groundhog Day thing again. The fact that time and time again, special teams just cost us here in different ways. It's so damn annoying, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And it's like, how are you letting this happen to yourselves? Because you're letting it happen to yourself. And you're paying him $5.5 million.
That's the crazy thing, is like, if you're paying a kicker $5.5 million, you would think you wouldn't have to worry about these type of things, right?
For the next 2 years.
But
at 38 years old. We have an injury-prone kicker. Awesome. Sick. We lost the game before we even played it. Let's add to the list of Andrew Thomas and the Marcus Bowe left tackle rotation. Andrew Thomas was on a limited snap count. I think Brian Daboll said after the game he was on a snap count of 25 snaps. That didn't even land. 25 snaps isn't even a half of football. You usually play 60, 70, or even in the case of last week, sometimes you play 80 snaps in a game. So,
so he had a 25 snap limit.
Yeah.
And Brian Daboll used all 25 of those snaps in the first half.
Yeah.
Now, let me put you in a situation. In the fourth quarter, they're driving to score a touchdown to take the lead or drive on a game-winning drive or a game-tying drive. And Marcus Bowe makes a rookie mistake that costs them the game. Is that what smart coaches in the NFL do? And if he could only play 25 games, 25 snaps, I don't understand. That's like you said, that's not even a half of football. It wasn't a half of football because he didn't play the last drive of the first half. So again, it's another thing. It's like, this doesn't make sense. This is not what smart NFL, not even smart. It's not what NFL teams do. You don't see this type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is very different from, like, this isn't baseball where,
right,
all right, let's have a pitcher go out there. Shohei Ohtani's coming back, from whatever surgery and whatever injury he had this year, and let's ramp him up. The ramp up period is supposed to be practice.
Correct.
I had people in my replies saying, well, it's good for conditioning. Aren't you supposed to condition in the building? What are they doing? What are we doing? Like, the being on the field and football, like, it's very different from any other sport. Where even in, like, I can even see the argument for basketball, even though that's a team game as well, where it's a flow and you have to communicate and you're passing the ball to each other. I think football, and especially on the offensive line, it's so different. Because then also the entire, and this is a testament to Andrew Thomas, the entire offense is different when he's on the field versus off the field. So I don't know, man. I would rather know, especially if I'm the left guard, or even if I'm a quarterback, I would just rather go into a week and just know, do I got Marcus Bowe in here, and do I got to be on the lookout for George Karlaftis and Chris Jones kicking this guy's ass with strength? Not that Marcus Bowe's bad, but those guys beat him with, I think, one of the first snaps. George Karlaftis gets in there. Bull rushes Marcus Bowe back. It's like, yep, that's the fear. That's the fear. I'd rather figure out if I have to deal with that for a full game. Like, what is and also, what's the difference between 25 snaps and 50 snaps? Is 25 snaps really going to be the thing that's going to save Andrew Thomas from suffering another substantially long injury? Is 25 snaps really going to be it? And if they really feel like he's not ready, we only feel like he can do 25, then don't play him. Then do not play Andrew Thomas if you feel like he cannot handle a full game's worth of work.
And how is he going to go? How is he going to go from 25 snaps to a full game work in 1 week? Like, where are they bridging that gap between a guy can only play 25 snaps today, but a week from now he's going to be able to play 80 snaps or 60 snaps or whatever? Definitely double. Like, how is he making that up? Where is that next step he's taking? I have never seen this before. It continues to boggle my mind. I was very happy seeing Andrew Thomas out there. For those who don't get it, Andrew Thomas is still 26 years old. He is
crazy.
Great. He is great at what he does. When he's there, he is one of the few offensive linemen in the NFL that makes the entire offensive line better when he's on the field. Not a lot of guys can do that. The Giants are exponentially better when he's there. I hope we're done with these long-term injuries, because number 78 is to me the most important player on this team. If they want success, they have to have 78 out there. With that said, again, I'm confused. 25 snaps, all in the first half. What happens if you need him in the fourth quarter? You're driving to, kick a game-winning field goal. Oh no, you can't kick a game-winning field goal because your kicker's hurt. You need a
Right.
game-winning touchdown. So then what? Right? It's like more and more just like confusing things that makes you wonder, like, am I stupid or like
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's so crazy that this is obviously not how it works, but this is my dumb fan brain. It's almost like everyone else around him gets better by osmosis.
Yeah,
John
because
Runyon.
he's that
Did you
great.
see did you see John Runyon on the Cam
Yes,
Scatterbo touchdown?
yes.
Fucking kicked Chris Jones's ass.
Night and day difference with run blocking. Night
Cam
and day
Scatterbo
difference.
averaged 6.5 yards per carry in the first. Even Tyrone Tracy, which hope he's okay. Even Tyrone Tracy averaged 4 yards per carry in the first half. They were running the ball. They ran the ball well throughout the game. But then you take Andrew Thomas out, and in the second half where you need to throw the ball, you're going to put in a player that is not going to deal with power well when the Kansas City Chiefs have powerful players that they're going to put on the defensive end.
Did you prepare during the week for Andrew Thomas to play a half? And if did, what adjustments did you make in the second half? Because I didn't see any adjustments
Well,
other than the
and
fact that
that's always a myth too. Didn't a Manning or Brady? Somebody said that like, oh, the second half adjustments is like a myth. That's not actually like a real thing.
well, when you're taking out your best player in the second half,
Right.
you would hope there's some level of adjustment, right? Like, okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to do this differently.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy Andrew Thomas is healthy now. I really hope it stays that way because he is an elite left tackle. And remember, he's only 26 years old.
That's crazy.
So still a lot of football in front of him.
Weiss, before we keep going, I got to talk to you about SeatGeek because the MLB playoff chase is on and football season is here with SeatGeek, the MLB's official ticket marketplace. Your tickets are fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled in your account after purchase. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the number one rated ticketing app in the world. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports festivals, and more. Right now, you can get tickets to baseball games, NBA, and NHL, not to mention tons of concerts and other events. And each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. So you know if you're getting a good deal. You know the drill. Green dot's good. Red dot's bad. And you know we came through for you guys. You can use code GIANTS2025 for 10% off your next set of tickets on SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code GIANTS2025. Thank you to SeatGeek for everything. All right. Jaxson Dart QB rotation. He comes in, and it's pretty funny with the MetLife crowd reaction now, and we know how this organization does care about optics. This organization does care about narrative. They clearly care about it, because that's how they
More than
saved
they
their
care about
jobs
winning
last year.
sometimes. Yeah.
Well, since they're not winning, they have to care about optics and narrative because that's
Yep.
how them save their jobs. Cough, cough, Daniel Jones, enemy number one last year. They made that clear, very clear from week one.
Mm-hmm.
Jaxson Dart QB rotation. MetLife erupts when he comes in. MetLife cheers with boos when he comes out. And the home opener for the Giants, first chance we got to really see it. And that happened on national television, and they only scored one touchdown. Weiss, Jaxson Dart QB rotation.
Again, either I'm dumb or it just doesn't make sense to me. Because you're not even having him throw the ball. You're just having him either hand the ball off or it's an RPO and he's keeping it. So it's almost like you're treating him like he's Tim Tebow, right? Like that's what this is. I don't understand what else it could be. What is he learning from this? To hand the ball off to Cam Scatterbo? Like, is that what he like? What is the learning experience in this package? It doesn't make any sense to me. And what else it does is it sort of takes the rhythm away from Russell Wilson. Rhythm is important for a quarterback when he's able to throw a 5-yard pass and then he's able to throw a 4-yard pass. And then you take him out the game, it kind of messes up the rhythm. It takes him out of what he's doing. He's comfortable in doing something. You're taking that away. You're putting him on the sideline, putting in Jaxson Dart. You can tell by looking at Russ's face like he doesn't like this. It's not something that he's comfortable with. But this is, again, I don't understand what it does. I said this, I guess we can talk about the quarterback situation. I said this at halftime. If you're comfortable enough with making Jackson Dart your quarterback two, then you are comfortable with putting him in the game if A, Russell Wilson gets hurt, or B, Russell Wilson's play is hurting your team. And tonight, Russell Wilson's play in the first half, specifically those two interceptions, hurt your team. So it was and I'm going to kind of sound hypocritical here. There's never a perfect time to make the switch, but that was a perfect time. The game was close. It was a good time to put Jackson Dart in because, again, you're telling me you're comfortable playing him in the middle of a game if you have to. And tonight, I felt like you had to. Russell Wilson clearly didn't have it. At no point did you think Russell Wilson was going to lead you to victory. Put Jackson Dart in, start that process, let him get the snaps. Good, bad, ugly, you live with it. But the Giants didn't do that. They kept playing Russell Wilson. And I think I have a theory why Brian Daboll does this. And this is something that I've realized over the course of the last, how long has he been the head coach? 4 years, 3 years and like 3 games. Whenever Brian Daboll has the opportunity to take the blame off him or the attention off him for something not going well and putting it on somebody else, he's going to do that. Whether it's going after the quarterback when he threw a pick six against Seattle on Monday night, where
Wink Martindale.
Yeah, Wink Martindale.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, right? That was my example. Remember the Seattle game where he threw the iPad or whatever the hell it was, the Windows Surface. I'm sorry. And then tonight, like Brian Daboll's offense sucks, right? This is now 2 of the last 3 games where it's single-digit points, right? We were told it is all the quarterback. That's why, hey, Brian Daboll never made any changes to his offensive coaching staff. Was there any changes to the offensive coaching staff over the last 3 years while the offense has been complete dog shit? No. Everything was always placed on the quarterback. So what happens? Daniel Jones out, comes in Russell Wilson, and it's much of the same, right? And what do? Instead of taking him out and putting him Jackson Dart, who you raved about, who you walk around with throughout the building, who this is your guy, you pounded the table for him, you made him the backup quarterback, you're comfortable putting him in the middle of a game. You keep throwing Russ out there. And Russ is he's washed, he's cooked, whatever you want to call it, right? It was the time to put it in, but you didn't do it, and you didn't do it because you wanted the fans to boo Russ instead of booing you. But here's the reality. The boos for Brian Daboll are coming. They are 0-3. They're going to play Jackson Dart. I think they're going to play him next Sunday against the Chargers. I think they have to. I don't think they can roll Russell Wilson out there in week 4. There's just no way. So, hey, Brian Daboll, the boos are going to soon be directed at you. You better hope Jackson Dart is really, really good. Really good as in franchise savior good, because this thing is spiraling, and this thing is spiraling very, very fast. And guess what? The schedule ain't getting easier, by the way. Actually, this is probably
Oh, the Chiefs are bad. The
Yeah,
Cowboys and the Chiefs are
bad.
objectively bad football teams.
And Washington ain't looking so hot either. And I know they won today with Mariota, but Janie Daniels didn't play well his first 2 games. He missed throws against Green Bay. But again, you still got the Eagles twice. You got the Chargers coming up. 2 3-0 teams. So,
and then you better win the only game on your schedule that you're favored against is the Saints, and you better win and look good there. So I don't really have. This is going to sound crazy. I really don't care when Jackson Dart comes in this year. Whenever they make that announcement, great. Like, all right, I'll get jazzed up to see him, because obviously there's a lot riding on him. But my frustrations stretch so far from the quarterback position, and I understand why people have been obsessed with, well, the Giants need a quarterback, Giants need a quarterback, Giants need a quarterback, Giants haven't had good quarterback play. I get why people have been obsessed with it, but my frustrations with Daboll and Shane go so far from that. And it is a shame that Jackson Dart It's September 22nd, man. And we're talking about this. And this is not what this season was supposed to be about. I'm not saying that they should have won nine. They should have won. This is a 9, 10, 11 win team. But this is the quarterback, the rookie quarterback that you draft should not be expected to save this. Save this. And this is so bad on all levels, man. Offensively and defensively. And this is why these guys should have been gone in January. It was more than the quarterback position. We just listed all these things of game day roster mismanagement by Brian Daboll over like the last 2 years. I think it even goes back to 2023. Where I feel like they struggled with kickers and who to activate and who to make inactive and all that shit. Remember, even they had a return problem for years. They had a return man problem where they refused to get a proper full-time return man before Gunner came in, and then Amir Smith-Marset.
I remember that. Yeah,
we have not been prepared. Our football team has not been prepared to look competent in the months of September and October over the last 3 years. They have not looked ready to play football when the games matter most. Joe Schoen's rosters are bit. And what's so crazy about Joe Schoen's roster, he saves his job by talking over and over again about the 2024 draft class, Malik Neighbors is a stud. Tyler Nubin, what the hell, man? What the hell? The main thing that we were good at last year is making tackles and being active in the run game and being physical. That part of his game seems to be gone. And he just doesn't touch the football at all. Whether that's a Shane Bowen thing or a him thing, at this point, it doesn't even matter. He is not touching the football. He is nowhere near. He is nowhere near a football. And that's all that he did in Minnesota. And he studies quarterbacks and he studies schemes and he's so smart. He's so instinctual. He knows how to put himself in a spot where he can make a play. He has one pass defense in his career, Weiss. And it was against the Bucs last year where he got blown out after the bye over Mike Evans. Sick play. Only pass defense of his career. Of his career so far. Drew Phillips was benched today for even if it was a brief period of time. Seemed to be benched today. Oh, wait, not only was he benched, but who are you going to put in the game instead of Drew Phillips? You're going to put in the other benched player in Deonte Banks, who I understand Drew Phillips had a really bad game. I understand there was bad plays and a lot of penalties. Maybe 3 penalties on Drew Phillips this game. It was not good. One of them was a flop, by the way. The end of the first half, complete flop.
Yeah,
but that's kind of just part of the league. Man. But you're going to bench Drew Phillips, one of the shining stars. And for an organization that cares so much about narrative and optics, they're going to make a decision to take out a player who was part of their heralded 2024 draft class, and I put that in quotes, that saved Joe Schoen's job and got John Mara on board. You're going to bench him? And I like Drew Phillips. He plays hard. He is a playmaker for all of his flaws and all the ways that he could be bad. He is a playmaker for this defense. And that's the guy that you're going to bench. And you're going to choose to put in Deonte Banks, who also shows poor effort. So then Drew Phillips comes back in the game, Weiss. And what does he do on a Kareem Hunt rushing touchdown? Shows zero effort. And you know what? I don't blame him because he's out there, at least I think, trying to play his ass off. And even if he's over aggressive and he gets beat some plays, you're going to put in Deonte Banks, who deserves to be benched. So that's all of this is happening. And I don't even all this is on my brain before I even can get to Jaxson Dart.
Do you think this is more roster or is it more coaching? Because I think it is.
Oh, it's definitely.
I don't think the talent on this roster is as bad as the record says it is. I think they have talent. I think their defensive line is so good. What it has to
Yes.
overcome is Shane Bowen does nothing to put these guys in position to make plays. These
No.
guys are making plays one on one. Brian Burns is playing at an insanely high level.
Yeah,
Think
he's having
about
an all pro start.
what they're asking of Brian Burns. Hey, Brian, we need you to get to the quarterback, and we need you to sometimes play an inside linebacker role and play sideline to sideline.
Which
Think
that's
about that.
shocking. That's shocking at how well he's doing at that.
And he's doing it well. So
Very
I
well.
I can't I can't look at just like I think the talent is good on this team. Like I think they can dump obviously when Thomas gets healthy. I think their offensive line is good enough where they can dump a rookie quarterback and they're not worried about the offensive line getting him killed. I think they can run the football. I think they have good receivers. I think Darius Slayton is being undeniably underutilized. Are they doing anything to get Darius Slayton the football? They've done a great
Oh, and
job with Wanda.
also, I agree. Also, he gets hurt. And another roster mismanagement point, Darius Slayton seems like he tweaks something, he gets hurt. Jalen Hyatt hasn't logged a single snap this year. A single snap. And if you are this, you are wasting a roster spot. Wasting it. For what? For
And they're
we can't cut this guy that we traded up for, that we took in the third round, that we openly said we would have taken in the second round if JMS wasn't there. Can you imagine if they did that? And he's not getting a snap, and Bo Collins, a rookie UDFA, is wide receiver 2 playing over him. They're both, Weiss, you asked me, is it coaching or is it roster? I think they're doing a great job hand in hand, working at holding each other back. I think they're doing a great job. I would really like to see, though, like I more than like we know that the offense is pitiful and bad. We know that. I would really like to see if they did have a competent defensive coordinator of what it would look like. You still may be 0-3. You would have beat Dallas last week, so you're 1-2 likely because
yeah.
your offense still can't score points. But they're being aggressive up front. Like they're talking on the broadcast about how the Giants are blitzing and they're trying to be aggressive. They're trying to bring 5. And what you're seeing on the back end is they're simply playing man coverage, but they're giving cushion. It's not a soft zone. They're giving cushion and they're just playing cover 1. They're just playing man coverage in the back end.
Yeah.
And they're
Again,
giving cushion.
am I stupid? Because I know that's a dumb strategy. Am I dumb? Like, am what I watching not real? Like, is that a sound strategy? Does that look
What
like?
is a quarterback going to do when he's being blitzed and cornerbacks are giving cushion? He's going to get rid of the ball quick and kill you in the short part of the field, which that's what happens. And man, second down for this defense. You're in 2nd and 18. You're in 2nd and 8. You're in such a good position to let's tee off here. This is the time where we can win. This is the time where the identity of our defense can really shine. And you get your ass kicked on 2nd down. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. So I would like to see at least what the defense would look like with the capable defensive coordinator, who they very much knew that they did not have a lot of belief in, because John Mara did all but fired him on
Yeah,
on that football field, on that Quest Diagnostics Training Center in January. But they were just too scared that they couldn't find a replacement that I guess had former DC experience. They didn't want to hire a guy that was new. I don't know. So that's at least that.
This entire defense is predicated on if Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Dexter Lawrence and Abdul Carter can get to the quarterback and beat their one-on-ones. They can. It's going to get stops. It's going to keep you in the game.
Well, you can't even
But when
say that,
they,
Weiss, because if they get a sack on first down, if you get a sack on
yeah,
first down, then you got to be. You got. I'm like, oh, I am no longer feeling like the drive is over if it's 2nd and 18.
because on second down they either get a penalty or they give up a big chunk play.
Right. Yeah, that was it. It was Juju. They ran that
Hmm.
screen, and Mahomes had a nice no-look screen to Juju. And then there was another 2nd and long where it was
It
Drew
was like,
Phillips. One of his penalties was illegal
yeah.
contact and first down.
Which, by the way, I never understand how a tight end can run into a defensive back and draw a penalty like that. That to me is wild. But yeah, you're right. You can never put yourself in that position. But coaching staff is letting this team down. I think I look. I'm not a defender of Joe Shane at all, but I do think this roster has talent where it should be better than this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Even though the run defense is still suspect, and like there are some roster examples where you can give a rebuttal of not acknowledging interior linebacker depth enough, not acknowledging they haven't
Right.
drafted, they haven't taken interior defensive line next to Dex very seriously. But then the rebuttal to that is, well, they really take the pass rush seriously. Okay. And especially the offensive line and just running it back with that squad. But I still agree with you overall that they should be better. And another coaching point that I do want to make, because I do want to talk about this before we miss out on it, with the Jaxson Dart QB rotation stuff. Broadcast did a really good job of breaking down like why Jaxson Dart running the plays that he runs right now in his package of plays, why it's good. And I actually think I actually, this is where I don't mind the Dart package, because it helps the run game, and the run game needs as much help. It needs as much help as it can get. So
You, you
Dart,
know, I was going to say this level of incompetence. I'll let you finish your thought. The level of incompetence with Brian Daboll. The package is all about improving the run game, right? Because
yes,
it makes teams keep an eye on Jaxson Dart's athleticism, which Russell Wilson doesn't have anymore. So they run it first down, get a positive gain. Second down, run a positive gain. They get to 3rd and 4, take Dart out of the game, and still use a play from that package that they specifically designed for Jaxson Dart, but use with Russell Wilson, and it failed.
and that was going to be my point. And the broadcast did a great job of saying, you do this with Jaxson Dart because you can't do it with Russell Wilson. They said those words. And then what did the Giants go and proceed to do? They did it with Russell Wilson.
It's almost like they didn't realize that they took Dart out of the game and put Russell Wilson back in. It is the level of incompetence with Brian Daboll's coaching staff right now. It is almost comical to me, because I'm sitting on my couch and I can literally look at it. I'm like, this isn't, forget about winning football. This isn't functional. Like the functioning teams don't do this. This is almost like I'm watching a high school football team operate, where it's like I'm trying to develop the mind of a young football player that's 14 or 15 years old. That's what this is. It's crazy to me. I am perplexed at what I'm watching sometimes. And the red zone play calling, Russell Wilson. Oh
It's
my God.
just,
It's another level, another layer of the embarrassment that this team has been for the last 10 years. Like when we look back on it, and we look back on those embarrassing moments that we've grown accustomed to see, this is another one. We're going to be like, hey, remember that Sunday night game against Kansas City where Russell Wilson threw it out of the tunnel on one down and then threw it over the crossbar on another one? Like, do you remember that? And
I don't know
everyone was
about you. I'm
booing.
not going to remember this. I'm not going to remember
Yeah,
this game.
I feel like these are moments that we're gonna remember of, like, man, that was really bad. But can I give you a glimmer of hope? Can I give you a small glimmer of hope? And it might
I'm
be
gonna make
like,
you I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna make you hold on to that glimmer of hope, because I have to talk about something. I have to talk about something
okay,
really quick, but I am excited to hear about this glimmer of hope. You want to know what gives me a glimmer of hope? Whenever I get to go and support my local businesses. And this episode is brought to you by Square, because sports are something that helps bring neighborhoods together, whether it's a sports bar dedicated to a specific fan base or a game day ritual involving the best wings in town. Neighborhood businesses help grow communities, and neighborhood businesses help make a community feel unique and welcoming. I talk about Ciro's Pizzeria all the time, my local pizzeria. I didn't get them on Friday, typically for Pizza Friday. Bad guy, but I got them on Sunday because I missed out on Pizza Friday. They're the spots that people love, almost like a second home. When local shops are successful, the whole area benefits, and shopping nearby keeps money circulating locally and helps small business owners grow. Square partners with more than 4 million neighborhood businesses worldwide, celebrating their role in keeping communities vibrant. You can go to square.com/giants to learn more. Before you do, go support your favorite neighborhood spot. You'll be happy you did. Square, see you in the neighborhood. Weiss, tell me your glimmer of hope.
Brian Daboll and Joe Shane were hired to figure out or fix the quarterback situation with the Giants. This past offseason, they got their opportunity to draft a quarterback, regardless where he was on the offseason, plan chart. They
Yeah.
did. They drafted Jaxson Dart. And there's always a level of excitement when you draft a quarterback in the first round and he gets out there and he gets to play. And I do believe that the offense, personnel-wise, is ready to bring in a young quarterback. I think they have a stud left tackle. I think they have the ability to run the football. They showed that today when Andrew Thomas was there. And I think they have an elite receiver in Malik Neighbors, and they have a security blanket in Wan'Dale Robinson, and they have another, good receiver in Darius Slayton. So I think they have an offense catered to that. You don't have to worry about that. Obviously, the coaching staff is, it's a question mark, but this was who Brian Daboll wanted. And there's, above all else, this is the last thing remaining, is Brian Daboll with his guy. Because Russell Wilson, let's face it, was a bridge guy.
Yeah.
This is not a 17-game starter. I know the bullshit they spewed about redshirt. You and I talked about this before the season. If they start 0-2, the noise is going to start. Well, that noise is here. The time has come. I believe I would be stunned if Russell Wilson's a starter in week 4. So the final question that we have is going to get answered, and
Yeah.
we are going to know for sure. And that's going to be when Brian Daboll plays the quarterback he handpicked. And that should excite you, because regardless what you feel about Brian Daboll, this is the last thing, and we will
Yeah.
get to
The
know
buck
this
stops with
now.
Dart, right?
That's it. There's nothing else. There's no one else you can turn to. There's no one else you can point the finger to. There's no Mike. You can't point the finger at Mike Kafka because you already took play calling from him one time, and then that
Yep.
sucked. And then you get to give it back to him, right? You can't point the finger at Shane Bowen. You already pointed the finger at a defensive coordinator last time. When Jaxson Dart gets in the game, we got to see improvements. We got to see this offense flowing, similar to how we saw it in the preseason. I know the preseason is a completely different sport, but you want to see that level of excitement. And that's it. That's the final. Like you said, the buck stops there with this regime, and that should excite you. So
Yeah.
we're gonna know by the end of the year. We're gonna know, and I'm excited about that because there's nothing else. There's no other question. There's no other what if. There's nothing else.
There's no other
It's
pivot.
now. There's nothing. Nothing they can do other than this young quarterback going out there playing well. This team look functional, and win some games.
And I really, and this is where, all right, this is where we can talk about Russ's performance. It's crazy. I don't know if that's bad. I don't know if that's bad podcasting by us, that it really took us 45 minutes to talk about the starting quarterback's full-on performance instead of just like the future of the team.
Well, it's okay when the quarterback's a bridge quarterback.
Yeah. But this
Yeah.
is where I'll go with this. I think Russell Wilson completed 7 passes of 20 plus yards last week and now somehow thinks that he's indestructible. And I think that's why you saw the interception in overtime. And I think that's why you saw, especially that first interception was crazy. Like, why? Why are you throwing
Throwing triple coverage to Wan'Dale Robinson? You tell me that's
30
not going to
yards
work?
down the field to where Wan'Dale's double, and it would need to be a contested situation
And a clean
Like,
pocket, by the way, which if you went through his progressions, I think Theo Johnson was breaking free. But
yeah. So that's where I get with Dart, where I hope and I really do think that this offense can strike a balance. The Chiefs were running too high, and the Giants offensively, like they ran the ball well tonight.
oh yeah,
Cam Scottaboo had a 43% success rate. Tyron Tracy had a 43% success rate. Even Devin Singletary had a 50% success rate on his rush attempts. Cam Scottaboo had a really good receiving night as well. I think eight plays, eight targets that he had, 50% first down rate. If what I'm looking at is right on my advanced box score, 45% first down rate, even rushing the ball. And I think that happens because when the Chiefs are playing too high, they're putting a lot of respect on Russell Wilson's arm, throwing the ball deep, and they're putting a lot of respect on Malik Neighbors and his ability to stretch the field. That I think it opened everything. I think it opened a lot of other things up for them. Was clearly not good enough, and I still think the offense needs more answers. But this is where, damn man, and I hate that we're all right. Well, we're throwing another quarterback under the bus and giving an ultimate excuse and reason why the offense is pitiful, pitiful, pitiful. But Russ just not being able to find other answers besides throwing the ball deep down the field or just checking it down, and just refuses to look to the middle of the field and like being
that's
so
the thing with Dart.
Wandale and Malik Neighbors dependent. Hopefully Jaxson Dart will not do that. And that is a
I
hope.
think I think Jackson Dart will be able to throw in the middle of the field. I think the process will be slow to start, obviously with the rookie quarterback, but there is a level of excitement that I have to
Yeah.
watch Jackson Dart, and I wish it was today because I think it would have been awesome to see him
Yeah.
have that opportunity. But
But I am adamant. No, like I am really adamant right now. I'm frustrated with this coaching staff. I'm frustrated with this situation. I'm frustrated with everything. I'm frustrated that these guys are still back. I'm frustrated that they're 0-3. But I really am adamant, and I even understand that Dallas, watching that Dallas, I don't know about you, Weiss, watching that Dallas game, and as the Bears were kicking the shit out of them, the further and further that game got, the worse and worse I started to feel about Sunday Night Football. I'm like, oh crap, Dallas may just be that bad. Like Matt Eberflus may just be Mike Nolan in
yeah, well,
disguise.
that's what I thought. That's what I thought last week. Like I was like, yeah, like it was fun, it was cool, like to score points, like it was exciting, but it's not sustainable. Like regardless what would have happened today with Dallas, it wouldn't have changed how I felt. Like
Yeah,
they're not going to win game just having Malik Neighbors run straight down the field and just throw the ball up. At some point you're gonna have to, do something else. And there was no evidence to suggest that they were able to do anything else because there are limitations with Russ.
but I do agree with you that you can't do that every game, but you do have to convince defenses that you can do it. And that's
Oh, I
the
think,
key.
but the Chiefs were convinced, and what they
Yes.
do, too high. It's like that's it. Convinced or not convinced, like that, like the play too high safety, and it's like okay, Giants, let me see what you can do. And Russ can't attack the middle of the field. His intermediate game is not that good. Uh, I think even despite the fact that they ran the ball well, I still don't think that it changed the Chiefs' approach. Like they were not going to get away from that too high.
No.
They were going to take their chances with Scatterboy. Be like, okay, if your whole game plan is going to be to get the ball to this rookie fourth round running back, I'll take my chances, and I think I'll still be able to win the
Right.
game. So, um, but that's why I think if you put this young quarterback in there, and you certainly built this offense around him. You call plays that cater to him. I think you're going to see some better results that you just can't see with Russ anymore. So, and even when they put him in these packages, you see how teams defend differently and what that opens up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is going to be like they're going to all of a sudden become a top 10 offense. No, but I think that they're going to be better than what they are right now. Maybe not early on, but as the season goes on.
Yeah, and that's the hope, is that Dart will. I think that there hopefully will be easy answers if teams respect the Giants' ability to throw the ball deep down the field. If they do not, then everything will get more difficult. And they're going to have one of those games like they had against Dallas, where they just kill a team left and right, with 20 plus yard plays and throwing it deep and killing a team that way. And then teams are going to have to get back to that. Oh shit, we got to respect this. Because if they do, offense should be easier. And that's what I thought coming into this game. And that just did not happen, where 18 completions Russell Wilson had, 8 of them going to running backs. Now, I really do think, like, I don't even mean to say that in like a fully disparaging way, but I think Cam Scatterbo having 6 receptions for 61 yards is like that's not all that bad. But when he's your leading receiver, both catches and yards wise and targets, that's not good. And Darius Slayton for 4 yards for 30, that's not like, there needs to be other answers in this offense. And I think that there can be. And I hate to just put it on the quarterback again, but it is Russell Wilson, and he's kind of all or nothing. And that's kind of what he is in his career.
He's a bridge quarterback. His entire purpose was to be a placeholder whenever the time comes for Jaxson Dart. I got no ill will toward Russell Wilson. This loss is not even on. Is like I'm not even like we would have won this game with Jaxson Dart. I'm not saying that. I understand who Russ is and what he was brought in to be, despite what the Giants tried to put out there. Like this isn't like a blame game situation. This is the reality of the situation. Who Russell Wilson is, what his role is on this team, what he's there for, why he's starting, and that's it. There's, I'm not, trying to shit on Russell Wilson, and like, I'm not. The reality of the situation is Russ is the placeholder until Jaxson Dart's time has come, and I think Jaxson Dart's time has come, and it's time to make the change. There's no big money tied to Russ. It's a 1-year deal. Like, I know what this is. Like, I wasn't mad at Kurt Warner, if when like this is how the NFL works sometimes.
Oh,
you drop a quarterback and
I have a juicy question for you.
Sure.
But I have to talk about DraftKings first. This episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with our partners at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly, plus score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code JAMFootball. That's code JAMFootball to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet, plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Do you think Russell Wilson is going to request his release when he's benched?
I think in a perfect world, the Giants probably say, "Hey, listen, Russ, we're going to Dart. You see what's going on around the NFL, presumably in Cincinnati. Do you want us to see if there's a pathway to get you to Cincinnati?" And I think Russ would probably say yes or no. But I think either way, the logical thing to do would be to, hey, Dart's the quarterback. Jameis Winston is the backup, and Russ is the emergency third quarterback. That's how I would play this thing whenever the switch is made. And nothing tells me that's what's going to happen. Now, if Russ goes to him and says, "I want to get released because I want to go play in Cincinnati," then so be it. But regardless what the thing is, how that thing plays out, I think it should be quarterback 1, Jaxson Dart, quarterback 2, Jameis Winston. Because remember, Jameis is on a 2-year deal. So
yes,
you want
out
him
of
here
all the backup
too.
quarterbacks that we've had, I think Jameis is the best. You can maybe debate Tyrod, but out of all the backups that we've had, this is the best contract, which is crazy.
Yeah,
and I think he may be the best one.
He certainly has
30 touchdown season.
He has a higher ceiling than Tyrod does.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
And it's a
But don't
really
you
good
think that
contract.
that would be the right approach? Like if you're the coaching staff, like go to Russ, say, hey Russ, this is the situation. Like we want Winston to be the quarterback to behind Dart. We want you to be the emergency third quarterback. And if you don't want to accept that role, we can work on finding you a new home.
I think the latter is what I would think would happen.
But would you present it to him that way?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I would present an out to him.
Yeah. Like, hey, listen, we want to make Jameis the quarterback too behind this kid.
Which
We
is
still want you
nuts.
to. Well, the only reason you're doing it is because he's going to be the backup quarterback to Jackson Dart next year, presumably, right? He's
No,
under
but no, but
contract.
just the Weiss, just the fact that all this is happening. All this is happening in September, man. Like
But you and I talked about this in like July. We said if this thing plays out how we think we're going to play out, the noise for Jackson Dart is going to start early.
I know, but it's different now that we're in it. That it's happening. It's happening, and it's not. This is not what this year was supposed to be. Everything was supposed to be better, and it's not. And the
Would one
the one game where they scored, and it was the most explosive offensive output game that we've seen in in a competitive game. We've seen some high offensive games in like a blowout, like the Colts game. Anytime we play the fucking AFC South and the Colts, that's when you see our high output offensive games. Which
anytime there's a game to mess up your draft,
right,
your draft
right,
pick,
right.
you always get that
Anytime
one.
there's such a game, yes, the Andrew Thomas Bowl, which worked out. Anytime that there's a game that's going to fuck with our draft spot. But in a game in September, the one time that we score points, and it's like, all right, well, the defense and the unit that we're supposed to rely on and the unit that's supposed to be top 10 just can't, sheets can't cover a bed, whatever that saying is. I don't know. It's 1:00 in the morning.
I tend to believe that the offense will look better, and I might look like a fool by saying this,
Yeah,
but
Brian Daboll and Joe Shane are going to agree with what you're going to say.
I will say that I presume that the offense will look better when they play the guy the head coach stomped the table for.
Plan A, Matthew Stafford. Plan B, Aaron Rodgers. Plan C/D, Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston.
I think they were always drafting a quarterback.
Joe Shane was like, oh, we're going to draft Shador. We like his marketability. And then Brian Daboll's like, I don't like Shador. And okay, we're going to draft Jaxson Dart. And here we are. Which I'm not even criticizing that process. I'm not even criticizing that process. I'm just criticizing I'm not even criticizing anything. It's just crazy how we've gotten here. And we're 0-3. And there's so many other problems besides the quarterback.
100%. But as you and I know very well about this game, it's where it starts and where it ends.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart's not making the Giants a playoff team, but you will hope that he makes Sundays exciting where you're in games and, hey, maybe we win a game or two we're not supposed to win.
No, they got to win.
Oh, yeah, they have to win. But realistically speaking,
they have to win 5.
5.
That's my new number.
I think they'll get to 5.
How many games are left in this season? 14.
13, 14, yeah. Yeah, 3 play, yeah.
14.
Mm-hmm.
They need to go 5. They need to go 5-9. The nice thing is we don't have to stress about a draft pick. I mean, why are we going to care about where we're drafting?
Oh, I have no appetite. I have no appetite for another John Mara GM head coaching search. I know that's one thing that people are starting to talk about, like, oh, and it's not me saying that these guys deserve to keep their job. I'm just saying that doesn't stand me up. I'm not looking forward to that. Like if you are and you want to start throwing out these GM head coaching combinations, by all means. But I have zero energy and zero interest in another John Mara, Chris Mara, Tim McDonald led head coaching GM search. I'll leave that to you guys. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I just wanted Jackson Dart. I'm taking one step at a time. Put the
Let's
young
get to
quarterback
Jaxson
in there.
Dart.
We see all these young quarterbacks out there that play well, uplift the team. All I hear about is how much the locker room loves them, and he's one of the guys. And let me see him go in there and sort of light a fire a little bit. Let me see that. I want to see that.
All right, other notes, because I'll be honest, I don't feel like spending a substantial amount of time on this because it doesn't really matter. Other notes that I do just want to mention: Cam Scadaboo is good. He's fun to
It was
watch.
good.
He broke a lot of tackles tonight, which was nice. Um,
Third best running
Tyron,
back in the draft class right now.
possibly not through the first 2 weeks, but tonight was good. Tonight was good. I know Dallas was good too. I can't believe he only. He did have two broken tackles last week. Does make sense. Two broken tackles last week does make sense. Start to use him more.
To
He's
me,
pretty good.
what's the most impressive thing to me with Scadaboo is he's a 3-down back. He can pass block.
Yes, that was the
He
big
can run the
question.
ball.
Was can you
Yeah,
pass block? And he's passed that
that,
test. So
I like that. I like that a lot. The backflip, that was awesome.
yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere. Him and Graham Gano had a conversation on the sideline. That was the first ever conversation that I think they ever had. Abdul Carter continues to look solid. They just never play him as an edge rusher, so that's cool. He is an interior linebacker / an interior defensive lineman until further notice.
Which is
One of
just
but one of the reasons why I think he is solely playing that, number one, because they did very poor planning at interior linebacker and they don't have backups and good players that they trust. I mean, the depth chart is thin, but also they don't have good backups there. So that's number one. And number two, Kayvon Thibodeau's playing with his hair on fire.
Kevin
Where
Thibodeau's playing fucking amazing.
I don't think this is a year 3 development thing. I think this is a guy that needed Abdul Carter to be drafted here and needed his future to be in doubt. And I am adamant on this. I'm adamant that Kayvon Thibodeau is a smart and savvy business football player. And I think he was a lot more comfortable when it was just Brian Burns and him. And now that he knows that it's not, and now that he knows that it's not just a cakewalk to a contract, he's playing like he wants to get paid. And that's what I think is causing this renaissance in his career. It could be year 3. Oh, maybe, sure. I don't think it is, though. I think this is a dude that knows, oh shit, I gotta go, or else I ain't getting my big second contract that I want. And that's what I think we're seeing right now. So I think that's one of the reasons why Abdul Carter is like, because they can't take Kayvon Thibodeau off the field. And that's why Abdul Carter is like this interior linebacker / interior defensive lineman. So
I would just like to see Abdul Carter line up at edge more than Tomon Fox.
yeah, that was a little, when I saw that, I was like, oh, Timon Fox? Really?
Is that a lot to ask for Abdul Carter to line up at edge more than Tomon Fox?
Timon Fox back on the 53-man roster. Always knew that he would make it back. What else? Dexter Lawrence seems like he's hurt, re-aggravated that elbow injury. That
But I
isn't it
thought
funny?
he played well today. He played a lot better today than
Yeah.
the first 2 weeks.
I don't think Dex is the problem, but I do think the elbow flaring up already is not good. And don't you love the Giants' plan of we're going to ramp up Andrew Thomas coming off a season-ending injury, but Dexter Lawrence also coming off a season-ending injury is going to play 70% of the snaps. Don't you like how that works?
After doing nothing during training camp.
After doing nothing in training camp.
Nothing in a training camp that's basically what do they call it? A country club?
Yeah. Yeah, the Giants don't run a very productive practice in my
You
book.
want to know why they miss tackles so much? Come watch training camp and you'll see why.
Yeah. That's all the significant notes that I have. I do want to give a shout out very quick to Nike because we have an awesome new partnership with them. So go check out our affiliate link in the description below to shop some amazing Nike gear. I finally got myself some Knicks gear. Fun fact, basketball starts in 1 month on October 21st. I'm excited for the New York Knicks. I'm excited for the next month to go by. And that's that. Thank you, Nike. That's Weiss. That's all I got.
Russell Wilson was 4 of 18 with no touchdown passes in the red zone, or had been 4 of 18 with no touchdown passes in the red zone. 4 of 18 in the red zone.
On the season, right?
Yes.
Oh. Wow. 21%
You
of the
can't.
Giants first. Oh, I love this. I love when we do this on this show. I love when we go tick for tap. Whatever the fuck the saying is, with like bad stat after bad stat. Like I give a bad stat, you give a bad stat, and we go back and forth, and whoever
I might.
whoever is
I might throw
standing
in.
at the end.
I might throw in a bad quote too because there's a couple.
Oh yeah, I didn't see conf presser or anything, but
Yeah.
21% of the Giants first down conversions tonight were on via penalty. Well, give me the bad quote.
Um,
How does Malik
Brian
Neighbors feel right
Daboll.
now?
Brian Daboll said when he was asked a lot of questions, he just kept responding, "Not good enough. Not good enough."
Oh no, it's too early. It's too early
Yeah.
for three-word responses. That's Mike McDaniel territory.
And if you are
It's
upset
Pat
right now,
Shermer
just
territory.
just know that Brian Daboll understands why you're booing him, or not him, Russell Wilson,
Oh,
because Brian Daboll thinks the boos are directed toward the quarterback still. Um,
did you see that? So Dart, I learned this. I kind of knew it, but I clipped it up during the game, and I just wanted to ask because I didn't want to be wrong. Because I even see in the preseason game they have the headsets in and the quarterbacks hear all the play calls. But did you see that Dart? First of all, he always has his helmet on, which gives me anxiety, thinking that he's gonna just go into the game because you never know. He always has his helmet on, but there was a part of the game where he practices calling the plays on the sideline. Like he says them out loud. He'll hear it in his headset, and the sideline, the camera panned over to him, and he was looking at his wrist. And then as soon as the camera starts to cut out, he starts to speak while looking at his wrist. So he's calling the plays out loud. So he's practicing it as it's coming in his ear. So I thought that was a cool detail. That means he's going to be a great quarterback. That's what that means.
Jaxson Dart is doing everything that a starting quarterback does, except throw the ball.
He probably will next
The
week.
Chiefs featured split safeties on 78.9% of their dropbacks against the Giants.
That's pretty
Uh,
disgusting.
the unit generated a 41% pressure rate and held Russell Wilson to 0 for 5 with an interception on deep passes and split safety coverage. Justin, my friend, I don't think that game plan is not going to be mirrored again by a Giants opponent.
No, you don't.
Except
You
that,
typically don't want to run deep concepts against two high safeties. That's not typically what you want to do.
yeah, because you'll probably end up throwing an interception, right?
Probably. Let's do one more thing. Let's what's Bill Simmons, Ben Simmons, not Ben Simmons is a basketball player. I think they do this on the Ben Simmons show. I think you'll be surprised by this. What's the line next week?
Chargers minus 7.5.
It's -6. It's the same as this game.
Damn it. I was gonna say minus 6.5, but I was like, damn, they're gonna give the Chargers at least a touchdown. Oh, the Chargers have played in close games. So
have the Chiefs, and they blew the Giants out while also looking bad. Isn't that funny?
yeah, Andy Reid almost killed Travis Kelce on the sideline.
There are 3 teams that have beat the Giants so far this year that their fan bases are walking away from their games saying, we looked bad today.
Yeah, actually, all 3 are.
All 3, yeah. Commanders, penalties, sloppy. Dallas, our defense. Chiefs, everything.
Everything, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Weiss.
No problem. Pleasure's all mine, Justin.
Let's go, Giants. Jeff, you can end the stream now. Thanks for watching.